Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Today is December 11th, 2018. As always, this news show is sponsored by camerastore.com. And yeah, let's get to the news. First, we have the big news coming from Supersense and their Kickstarter campaign to bring back pack film. I guess it can't be called pack film because it's not going to be bundled in a pack. It's going to be called One Instant. And this means the film is going to be sold in one instant shot. So basically kind of like a ready load or the new 55, Polaroid 55, sort of one shot, then you reload. So the Kickstarter started last Wednesday after actually I posted the news. I did do a live stream with Marco from Analog Things, who actually was part of the video for the Kickstarter campaign, has worked in the past with Supersense. So he had kind of first-hand experience with the product and such. So if you want to watch that, it's an hour long. But I think there was some interesting conversation talking about the future of Supersense and this product. Also, one of the things that a lot of people were concerned of is that this new Kickstarter campaign is for an old product in the terms of paper and chemistry. And Kickstarter and Doc on Kickstarter made an update saying that they're going to be working, of course, to produce newly machined paper and pods for the future of One Instant. So if you want to help with this campaign, I actually did because I support the idea. I understand it's not cheap, but I'm not supporting a finished product more. I'm supporting Doc and his little mission to keep pack film in the market some way. So if you want to check it out, all the links are in the description, including the live stream from Marco at Analog Things. We also have some updates from Adox on their new factory, which is great news. They're finishing the outdoors and moving lots of machinery, getting things ready. I can't wait for them to finish and actually start production. I know it's not going to be a one-day thing. It's going to take a long time of testing and trying things. But yeah, if you want to check out how their updates are doing, you can check the link below. Also, we have an update from Labbox, which basically have already are printing or molding all the parts of their Labbox. They're already made a production line so they can put everything together in a line. There's pictures on their Kickstarter campaign and such. So I hope that they will be shipping by the end of this year, beginning of next year. There is a lot of people to ship, so it's not going to be a one-week thing. It's probably going to take several months to ship all of these boxes, but it's very exciting to see the product finally being in final stages of the Labbox. Then we have news from Ilford, and remember I talked about those little like pouches with like the chemistry that would be kind of like an easy kit. Well, it became a reality. It's going to be called Ilford Simplicity. And it's basically focused for those people starting off or maybe that don't buy lots of chemistry or develop once in a blue moon. These little Simplicity kits are basically these little bags of chemistry which you open and pour into 600 milliliters of water at whatever temperature you're processing. And it's very, very, very simple to develop. So this is like the easiest way I've seen black and white being, sold, unless you're talking about monobath. So it's interesting to see Ilford doing this for the new people coming in, or maybe the people that don't shoot that much. Then we have news from Chroma, who actually posted a few pictures of the wet plate holder they're working on. It looks really good. As you all know, wet plate holders are something that you don't see a lot. I know Chamonix makes some, and maybe some other third-party brands. I think Stenopeka makes them and others. So yeah, it's cool to see. I wonder what the price point will be. Chroma is still building his camera, so this is just a side project, I guess, to get his head off building cameras all the time. But yeah, very interesting, and I can't wait to see what Steve comes out with. And last, I want to talk about Tetenal. There's been a lot of talking about Tetenal after they basically announced the insolvency. A lot of rumors of what's going to be happening. I made a video about it. And C41 Podcast or C41 Studio Podcast made an emergency podcast like a week ago talking about this with Marwan from Photoclassic International and Photoclassic in Germany about what's happening at Tetenal and whatnot. I actually had an interview with them, but first let me finish with C41. he made this post on his blog and as a podcast, and we ended up on Petapixel. I know that's not the biggest website for film, but it's very good because it has a lot of eyes on it. So because he linked me as one of the people that started talking about Tetenal's problems, and Photoclassic and C41 ended up on Petapixel, which is actually pretty cool. It's my first time there, so I have to say it's fun. Tetenal, I had an interview yesterday. I can't say it was very successful for various reasons. One of them, they had no proper internet connection. They had no proper computer with a webcam. Hello, Marwan.
Nico, does it work now?
Let me see.
You can see me?
I can see you. And it kept cutting off.
Consumer.
Christoph, I'm losing you. I talked to Petra from Tetenal, which I interviewed at Photokina. So is production running smoothly already? Has there been any bumps down the road?
Yeah, well, we had a very tough time when we originally met the last time after Photokina. Due to the procedure we are forced to follow from legal side. We had a beginning of October 2 to 3 weeks where really we were not allowed to do anything, which was a nightmare. I mean, I never seen that in Tetenal. But nowadays, well, from that moment onwards, we are in production and we have a lot of orders to come over. And we are in full purchase of everything which we need for chemistry. And we are really happy to see the machines working. This is really great, and we have also the commitment to all our customers that we have to hurry up to fulfill this little hole we had in beginning of October originally. Yes. Okay. We are in good there. It feels good on top, For us as a Tetenal member, it's nice if you go into the production and you see everything is working. This is really nice,
I can understand. So, I know a few people that have felt the let's say the bump in Asia and China, continental China. There's C41 is basically right now missing. So I'm guessing that they're all waiting for their orders. Probably between the fact of the news and people probably bought more hearing the news. And then if you guys had a little bump, then it was harder to fulfill because there's probably more orders because people are eager to get their chemistry and get their products.
Yes. But at that occasion, Nico, I hope I'm allowed to say that we are really so happy with our customers, our loyal Tetenal friends, that majority of them understood the situation. And they are with us and they are helping us and they are supporting us. This gives us, as the Tetenal part of the family, a very good feeling. And the thing Christoph explained to you is this is a project which our management agreed upon as an add-on. It is not a normal workshop project everybody is doing. It is really an exception to do it as an additional trial to focus on the new way of Tetenal 2.1 or whatever, how you name it. This is really very exciting for us to see that, and it's really incredible. It's really fantastic what the ideas are. So we will report, I'm sure, a little bit later about the content for this.
Have you had any ideas that have been approached that maybe you hadn't thought of that you can share? Something that's interesting apart from the tablet chemicals part, or anything you can share?
Well, I think it's also a little bit too early to go on this. We received so many ideas from really consumer side. Some people, for instance, one thing which was very, very, very remarkable is E63 bath 5 liters. We need it back. So this is very simple. It's another unit, in fact. But there are so many other ideas and wishes from consumer side. But give us some time. We need to collect this and to get an idea about that when we are sure how to do it. Because as we both said in the past, we stick on B2B on our dealer network and everything, which is nice, but perhaps we should change it. This is the thing we need to focus on. And we come back to you, Nico. And then you have to come to Hamburg, and it's cold in Hamburg, my dear.
I talked to Christoph, which is actually one of the team members for the restructuring and future of Tetenal.
This is Professor Christoph Wecht. He's
Okay.
one of the consultants concerning the restructuring, and he's working out all the new ideas with the personnel of Tetenal. And we had already our second day, and well, we just went through all the different levels, what's possible and what could be possible, where are the problems. And
so we have a background in innovation management. Not only product innovation or service innovation, also business model innovation, which is like a very hot topic nowadays. And we have I have a scientific background, and we are offering this kind of experience in coming up with new ideas for business models, and that's what we are trying with Tetenal. How can we actually maybe adapt or innovate the existing business model around photography or the core business of Tetenal? Yeah?
And as far as you've been in Tetenal, I'm guessing for a few weeks already, maybe a month or so, how have you seen things? Do you see there's possibilities for new ventures or bringing back new things, or?
Okay, good. So the question was if there's already some outcome which we can see right now, right?
Yeah.
Positive outcome. So maybe for like it's too early to say. Okay, there is like there are one or two topics which will maybe turn into a new business, or maybe a topic which will kind of rejuvenate an old business. But what I can definitely tell you is that it's a very, motivated team here working at Tetenal, which is not always the case in this situation. So there are a lot of people really eager to join our workshops. A lot of people which bring in their whole energy and bring in the ideas. And we are right now at the stage of our process where we have collected more than 200 raw ideas, and now we have condensed them to, let's say, 25 developed ideas, all for business models. And we will have a second day tomorrow. And at the end of tomorrow in the evening, we should know a little bit more. But still, we are in the idea stage, and implementation is a follow-up step which has to come. You can't rush it, and you can't guarantee the outcome. But definitely, it's worth trying it. And you have know-how, knowledge here. You have a team of motivated people here. We bring in our proven methodology. So let's say there is a certain likelihood of success in this process.
Okay.
And then there are some things going on in let's say some external developments and some external trends which also let's say increase the chance for success. So there are certain trends and developments you're well aware of which actually should fit to the offer Tetenal can offer, right? To the offerings from Tetenal. Okay. Or the Tetenal offers can actually fit to certain demands which are out there on the market right now. We are actually looking at the overall business model, which means it's not just investing a little bit more in marketing. It's not just opening a new channel. So that there has to be a real, solid business model idea behind it. That's our approach. But definitely your statement was true, and there are a lot of discussions going on here. How Tetenal can better utilize the potential on the business to consumer side. Okay. But it's too early to tell how they will actually do it and how the business model will look like. I mean, the bad thing is there's not a lot of let's say resources available here for the next shot. So it has to be a very well planned shot before you really start doing something. So there's no chance to try a few things here. So it has to be well thought of what to do next. You know the situation, time-wise, money-wise, resource-wise, so it's very tense.
And I talked to Marwan from Photo Classic International that were there.
I think that's one of the things with in the new year, we should work out together with Tetenal something that we can do a series in the magazine and maybe on Silver Grain Classics later on as an online version where we go into the direct. We discussed that already. So don't worry, these things will come. But at the moment, really, it's the question: what's going to happen in the new year with the 1st of January? And I think with all the knowledge and all the ideas, it really doesn't look that bad. That's my personal opinion. It's a feeling at the moment, but there are so many different possibilities for the future. So the important thing is production is running. You can get your stuff. I think we can get your support in the future or in the coming days where you can get the material, because there are a lot of places where you can order the paper. And I think let us work something out. I'm sure because the stock is full. You have enough on stock. There's nothing there which you can get it. So let's work out that and so that we can support them quickly, because every developer that's bought helps Tetenal in the short and the long run.
No, it's of course. I think it's the basically we all know that Tetenal has 170 years of investigation, of ongoing business know-how, and the fact that that's the state is, yes, things are complicated, but there's a lot of potential for the future. Things that can be made can be brought back. Things can be made that maybe were never made because digital came in and things were left on the side. But that's very good. Production's good. I think the resources would be great if it can be done as a Photo Classic or Silver Grain's website, with the information. I can make a video happily about where you can purchase and what are the products and the lineup of Tetenal. I've been doing a series of videos about film today and what can be found, because a lot of people don't really know what things are still currently produced. A lot of people think that film is gone, and some people think that color is gone, or maybe black and white is no longer existent. There's a lot of misconceptions that I think have to be cleared out. Connection is poor. Can you hear me, guys? But very basically, they're in full production, like I said last week. They're thinking about new things to do. They're doing a lot of brainstorming these few days, but the future is looking promising. The community is really supporting. C41 actually came up with a hashtag for people to tag Tetenal and whatnot called Save Tetenal. I'll leave that on the screen. Basically, hashtag Save Tetenal on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and whatnot. Also, their Instagram account, I'll leave it below. But they're thinking about little things to bring back in the market, things that will basically died when the digital revolution came in. And one of them is actually super cool, and it's basically C41 in tablets. So instead of C41 in powder or C41 in liquids or concentrated, these are tablets. So they basically are like little pills that you throw into water. They're like what do you say? One of those bubbly things. I can't find the word. In Spanish is efervescente. So so you put the water, you throw the little tablet of, I say, color developer CD, and you throw it, and ready it is. So this was made for press photography back in the day when there was no digital, unloading and sending through a router. So they would actually develop at the game to check the images, I guess, maybe scan them for the newspapers and such. So yeah, super cool thing. I think they would be an interesting thing for people who are traveling. They can do this in C41, black and white, and they never actually developed the E6 version of it, but they were ready to start it. So with a little bit of R&D, they could probably make the E6 tablets. And the good thing is that for people who travel, people that don't develop a lot, that don't want the chemistry to go old, this is perfect because you keep it in its tablet form, like it was an aspirin or something like that, and you can develop, I guess, half a liter whenever you need it for your film. I know a lot of people are shooting color in slides or color negative in slides who have to batch develop. So they bulk have like 20, 30 rolls, mix their chemistry, develop it all in a few days, and then dump it all, because the color developers and such, especially E6, goes bad fairly quick. And I'm not going to say super quick, but it does go fairly quick, especially when you not shoot a lot of color and such. So that is kind of the news from Tetenal. I'll put a little snippets of that interview we had yesterday. As I said, it was not ideal. We giggled a lot with all the technical problems, that's for sure. And we'll get more information firsthand from Tetenal. They're super open about the process, no hush-hush about what's happening. Petra and Christoph and Marwan are doing a great job. And I think the community needs to know about this. I have decided to shift most of my chemistry only to Tetenal unless it's something that I can't find in their catalog. We are also talking about making their catalog easier to find what they're doing, because I find it's hard to find certain products and what they're making. So we're going to work together in that with Marwan and me, maybe on the YouTube channel and such. But yeah, that is all for the news this week. As always, thank you, camerastore.com, for sponsoring the news. And if you have any information, you can send an email to the email below. See you next week.